It is February 1945. Camp Gruber, Oklahoma. The wind screams across the flat, brown plains. It carries a bite that freezes the marrow. There's no cover here, no ruins of bombed-out cathedrals to hide behind. Just the endless, terrifying horizon of the American Midwest. A train screeches to a halt. The metal grinds against metal, a sound like a dying animal. The heavy doors slide open. Inside, the air is stale. It smells of unwashed bodies, fear, and coal dust. Hans Weber steps out. He is 15 years old. He is from Dresden. His uniform, the Feldgrau of the Wehrmacht, hangs off his frame like a shroud. It is 2 sizes too big. The sleeves cover his hands. He is not a soldier. He is a child draped in the fabric of a dying empire. He shivers, not just from the Oklahoma winter, but from the certainty of his own death. Standing on the platform is Sergeant Clay Morrow, 52 years old, a cattle rancher from Tulsa with hands like leather and eyes that have seen the trenches of the First Great War. He holds a Thompson submachine gun. He chews on a toothpick. To Hans, Clay is not a man. He is a gangster. That is what the radio in Berlin said. That is what the officers in the Volkssturm screamed before the surrender in France. The Americans do not take prisoners. They take targets. They will line you up. They will shoot you. They will leave you for the coyotes. Hans looks at the barbed wire fences. He looks at the watchtowers. He tightens his grip on his own arms. He waits for the order to march into a ditch. He waits for the bullet. Move out. A voice barks. They do not march to a ditch. They march to a wooden barracks. It is warm inside. There is a stove, belly full of coal, glowing orange. Hans stands in line. His knees knock together. He's dizzy. He has not eaten real food in 3 weeks. He expects an interrogation. He expects a beating. Instead, he gets a tray. It is the turning point of a life. It happens in the mess hall, under the hum of fluorescent lights. Hans reaches the front of the line. Sergeant Clay Morrow is there. He is not holding a gun anymore. He is holding a ladle. There is a metal vat in front of him. The steam rises, thick and heavy. It smells of salt and fat. It smells of safety. Hans freezes. He looks at the sergeant. He flinches, expecting a blow. Clay looks at the boy. He sees the terror in eyes that are too old for a face that is too young. He sees the trembling hands hiding inside the wool sleeves. Clay does not shout. He scoops. He drops a ladle of beef stew onto the tray. Massive chunks of meat, carrots that are actually orange, not gray. Potatoes that steam. Then he had something else. A slice of white bread. Hans stares at it. In Germany, bread is sawdust and rationing cards. Here, it is white. It is soft. It looks like a cloud. Hans cannot move. The cognitive dissonance paralyzes him. The enemy is supposed to kill him. The enemy is feeding him better than his own Fuhrer. Go on, Clay says. His voice is gravel, but low. Hans stammers. Why? The word is barely a whisper. I am... ... Enemy. Clay pauses. He leans over the counter. The smell of tobacco and soap drifts off him. You ain't an enemy right now, son, Clay says. You're just a hungry kid. Eat. Hans takes the tray. He sits at a long wooden table. He picks up the white bread. It touches Italiano. It is soft like skin. He tears a piece. He puts it in his mouth. It tastes sweet. It tastes of yeast and milk. It dissolves on his tongue. The tears come instantly. He does not make a sound. His shoulders shake. He is crying. He is not crying because he lost the war. He is not crying because he is a prisoner. He is crying because the monster he was promised is a man who gave him stew. He eats. He eats until his stomach hurts. He eats the anger out of his system. Months pass. The snow melts. The Oklahoma plains turn green. The camp becomes a strange paradox. It is a prison, but it is also a sanctuary. Hansa works on the local farms. He picks cotton. He harvests peanuts. He works alongside Clay. They do not speak much. They communicate in grunts and gestures. But the hostility evaporates in the heat of the harvest. Hans learns that Clay has a son fighting in the Pacific. Clay learns that Hans's mother is missing in the rubble of Dresden. They are no longer soldiers. They are two men, one old, one young, tilling the same earth. The ideology of Berlin and Washington cannot survive the shared sweat of the field. Then comes May 1945. The radio announces the end. Germany has fallen. The camp erupts, but not in the way one expects. There is relief, yes, but for the boys like Hans, there is a sudden, crushing dread. Peace means repatriation. Peace means going back. In 1946, the order comes. The posts are to be shipped back to Europe, back to the starvation, back to the ruins, back to a country that no longer exists. The resistance in Camp Gruber is quiet but desperate. They do not riot with fists. They riot with bureaucracy. They delay. They beg. Some hide in the barns of the farmers they worked for. Hans stands by the gate. The trucks are waiting. He is 16 now. He is filled out. The uniform is gone, replaced by denim work clothes that he must leave behind a fiend's Clay. I do not want to go, Hans says. His English is broken, but clear. My home is ... Here, there is bread. Here, there is ... You. Clay looks at the ground. He kicks a stone with his boot. He cannot change the orders of generals. You go back, Clay says. You rebuild. You make it better than it was. I will come back. Hans promises. He grips Clay's hand. It is the handshake of equals. I'll leave the light on, Clay says. Hans gets on the truck. He watches the Oklahoma dust swirl behind him. He watches the fence line disappear. He feels a phantom limb pain, as if he is leaving a part of his soul in the red dirt. 50 years fade. It is 1996. The Oklahoma sky is the same endless blue. A car pulls up to a small cemetery outside of Tulsa. An old man steps out. He's well dressed. He wears a suit. He leans on a cane. Hans Weber walks through the grass. A is 71 years old. He is an American citizen now. He has been for 40 years. He returned, just as he promised. He built a business. He raised a family. He paid his taxes to the country that once held him behind wire. He stops at a granite headstone. Clay Morrow, 1893 to 1968. Hans stands there. The wind cuts through the trees, but it is not cold today. It is gentle. He reaches into his pocket. He does not pull out flowers. He does not pull out a medal. He pulls out a slice of white bread. He places it gently on the top of the headstone. He touches the cold stone with the same reverence he once touched the warm tray in the mess hall. I am still eating. Clay, Hans whispers. I am still eating. He stands there for a long time. The former enemy, the adopted son. He cries. And again, it is not from sadness. It is from the overwhelming gratitude that in the darkest winter of the world, someone chose to light a stove instead of firing a gun. Wars are fought with maps and ammunition, but peace is made with something far simpler. It is not signed on paper in a palace. It is forged in the quiet moments when we realize that hunger speaks the same language in every tongue. The fences are gone. The soldiers are gone, but the bread remains. And in the end, humanity is not defined by who we kill, but by who we feed when the rest of the world demands blood.